Testing 1, 2. Testing 1, 2. That worked. Testing 1, 2. That worked.
I don't know when you were here, but were you here when Matt was not when you did? Matt was not. I think he was just joining our staff when I asked him. Yeah, he did. He was our assistant now. Yeah.
Mic check 1, 2. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for tuning in to the potential championship game of the CCAA tournament between the designated visiting team, the Cal Poly Pomona Broncos, and the designated home team, the Cal State's Dominguez Hills Toros. Leading off for the Broncos is going to be Christian Kelly. He will be the catcher for the Broncos as well today, number 27. First off on the mound is Bryce Shea. And this game is underway. The first pitch is a called strike. Second pitch from Shea, that's going to be called ball one, a little bit high. Shea is a submariner, as I'm sure you can see there. He's definitely got some movement on his ball. So 1-1 is the count here for Christian Kelly. Next pitch comes in, that's going to be outside. Matienzo has to go out a little bit to get that, but he gets it, and it'll be 2-1 now the count here at Klein Family Field in Stockton, California. So 2-1 the count here in the top half of the first inning. Nobody out. Christian Kelly, first batter for the Broncos, fouls that one off down the right field line. 2-2 now the count here. As you may have noticed, as I'm sure all of you noticed, the game was started at 7:40, which was 40 minutes after the designated start time, as the first game ran a little bit late. Next pitch to Kelly, line drive out to center field. Center fielder is able to get there in time, makes the catch for the first out of the inning. So as I was saying, the earlier game, it did end up going 3 hours and 30 minutes. That was between the Toros, that advanced them to this game. But it was between the Toros and UC San Diego. After the Broncos defeated the Tritons last night, the Tritons were forced to play that game, and so they had to battle it out. And the Toros ended up winning with a walk-off hit in the 10th inning. Kyle Garlick's batting for the Broncos. The first pitch is called strike one. So walk-off double basically in the the bottom of the 10th inning, which put the Toros ahead 3-2 in the ball game and advanced them to this game. Next pitch to Garlick. That's gonna be a line drive. Garlick gonna get in there for a hit. Very nice shot. A little bit too far for the infield, a little bit too short for the outfield, but that'll mark the first hit for Kyle Garlick. So the Broncos now have a runner aboard with one out here in the first inning. Nick Cooksey will take the plate. Cooksey is one of the Broncos captains. It's him and Max Bethel, who's one of the Broncos pitchers. So Cooksey sporting number 8. Kyle Garlick at first base. Bryce Shea on the mound for the Tritons. A ground ball from Cooksey heads to third base. He's going to try and double him up. Let's see if he gets the call. Called safe at first base, but Garlick will be out at second. So that does mark the second out of the inning. And that'll bring up Michael Zidek, the Broncos right fielder. Thus far this season, Shea does have a 4.88 earned run average. He is 0-1 on the year, but this will be his 20th appearance. He has pitched a total of 24 innings, allowed 29 hits, 14 runs, 13 of those were earned, and he had 18 strikeouts. So Michael Zidek, the Broncos batter here. Nick Cooksey at first base, 2 outs in the ballgame. Pitch from Shea comes. That's going to be a little bit low and possibly outside. So 1-0 is the count for the Broncos junior right fielder Michael Zidek. Bryce Shea gets his sign from Daniel Matienzo. He throws. That's going to be a strike right down the middle pretty much. As I mentioned, Shea does have a lot of movement on his ball. He's got a submarine sidearm motion. And so any balls coming from that angle, you can easily just tweak the arm in one direction or another, and that'll put some movement on it. Shea gets out, tries to let Cooksey know he's still in his mind. Cooksey looks in, gets his sign, leads off a little bit from first base. Shea gets his sign. He delivered. That's going to be outside. Big curveball there, maybe even a slider with his sidearm motion. So 2-1 will be the count for Michael Zidek in this ball game. And that'll be a knock for Michael Zidek. He sends it right down the first base line. So let's see if he's going for second. He's going to make that easily. Nick Cooksey will head into third base, and the Broncos now have runners at second and third in this game. So a stand-up double for Michael Zidek in his first at-bat. Right down the right field line, just underneath the first diving Juan Avena's glove. Avena is the first baseman for the Toros in this game. That'll bring up the Broncos' designated hitter, Matt Munoz. Let me find my stats from last night. That's the first game. In the first game of the series, Munoz went 2 for 4. He had a great job. Then in last night's game, Mooney, he unfortunately was 0 for 4. So let's see if he can get something done for the Broncos tonight. Bryce Shea looks in, gets his sign. Broncos have runners at second and third. He winds and delivers. That's going to be a called ball one. Just a little bit low, maybe a little bit outside for Matt Munoz here. So Nick Cooksey will lead off from third base. Michael Zidek from second base. Matt Munoz batting and Mike Philp on deck. The pitch from Shea. Mooney's going to ground it out. Ooh, another knock from Matt Munoz. That's going to bring across the Broncos' first run. And Zidek, unfortunately, will try to make it home, and he will get tagged out at home. But the first run of the game for the Broncos has come across with a knock from Matt Munoz, a very nice single through the right side. So now the score stands 1-0 in favor of the Broncos over the Cal State Dominguez Hills Toros. We will join you back here in just a moment. Excuse me, I did not have my mic completely on there. First batter for the Toros here is going to be Brandon Polizzi. In the last game earlier this morning, first pitch from Chris Powell of the Broncos fouls off back behind us on the right side here. For the first game for Polizzi this morning, he went 1 for 4. He also walked, so he reached base safely twice. So Chris Powell is the Broncos pitcher. Christian Kelly is his catcher. 0-1 is the count here in the bottom half of the first inning. 1-0 in favor of the Broncos. This pitch comes in. It's going to be ball on the outside corner. Polizzi did show bunt, but pulled it back in time. Pitch from Powell. That's going to be falling in. A nice curveball for a strike. So strike 2 now here. So Powell gets to pick a pitch from his arsenal. See what he can throw here to Polizzi. See if he can get the first out of the inning. Powell gets his sign. He winds, delivers. That's going to be a check swing from Polizzi, but it is called, I'm guessing, on the swing. So that's going to be called strike 3. So first strikeout for Chris Powell and the first strikeout of the game for Brandon Polizzi. Now, 1 strikeout for Chris Powell, 1 out in the bottom half of the first inning here. Now batting will be Juan Avena, who is the first baseman for the Toros in today's ball game. In the first game of the day, Avena went, 0 for 4. Excuse me, below him was 2 for 4. First pitch from Powell is high and outside, ball 1. So Avena is batting .236 on the season thus far. Next pitch from Powell comes in. That's going to be called strike one. That was pretty much right in the middle of the strike zone. Avena, as I've mentioned before, does have what looks to me to be a kind of an awkward stance. He's very, very upright. Next pitch from Powell, it's a swing for Avena, so that's going to be 1 ball, 2 strikes now the count here. 1 out in the bottom half of the first inning at Klein Family Field. Powell gets his sign from Kelly. Shakes it off, gets his sign from Kelly. And timeout will be called by Avena. Apparently Powell took a little bit too long for him there. That is technically a strategy. Not technically, it is a strategy that pitchers will employ where they just try and get the batter really uncomfortable by just waiting there. So Powell will get his next pitch, get his sign, he's going to throw. That's going to be outside. So 2-2 now the count to Juan Avena of the Cal State Dominguez Hills Toros. Powell winds and delivers his next pitch. That's going to be a little bit low. Christian Kelly didn't exactly have to go down to block it, but the ball was right about at the dirt, so Kelly did have to get his glove down there. The count is now full. 1 out here in the ballgame. Chris Powell gets it. He's ready to go. He delivers. That's going to be a foul ball down the left field line. That heads over towards the basketball gym. The University of the Pacific is where we are hosting this thing. They actually did have their commencement today, so parking was an absolute zoo. Chris Powell with the pitch, and that's going to be high. So ball 4. Avena will take his base. 1 out is the count. Excuse me, 1 out is what's up on the board, and that'll bring up Cameron Young, who, as you've been listening, and if you've been following the California Collegiate Athletic Association at all, you know who Cameron Young is, because he is just an absolute beast at the plate. Currently, his average is .385. That is a phenomenal average. That is through the entire year, not just this series. That is through the entire year. First pitch from from Powell is going to be a swing for Cameron. So .385 is what Cameron Young has. He's got 41 runs scored, 67 hits, 14 home runs, 46 RBIs. He was named the CCAA All-Conference Player of the Year for his efforts. And as I've been mentioning, he is just absolutely a stellar player. Second pitch comes in. That's going to be strike 2. Young swings again. He likes what he sees from Powell, but is unable to make contact. So 0-2 will be the count. The Toros do have Avena on first base with Cameron Young batting. Chris Powell, the Broncos pitcher. Christian Kelly, the catcher. 0-2 the count here. 1 out. Kelly likes his sign from Kelly. Or Powell likes his sign from Kelly. Goes in. That's going to be ball 1 on the outside corner. Broncos infield is comprised of Nick Bruno at third base, Ryan Weberly at second base, Ryan Weberly at shortstop, Nick Cooksey at second base, and Mike Phillip at first base. Next pitch will come in. That'll be ball 2. 2-2 now the count. You may notice on the screen that the Broncos do have a heavy shift on for Cameron Young. That's how it's been all season. He is definitely more well known to pull the ball. Because he's got, like I mentioned, 14 home runs. He's got a lot of power, and he just absolutely loves pulling the ball. So the team tend to do a shift. Next pitch, that's going to be a strikeout. Strike 3 swinging there for Cameron Young. That'll mark Chris Powell's second strikeout of the day. Second strikeout in 3 batters, actually. He'd only faced the 3. So now batting will be Brady Conlon. And Conlon is the third baseman for the Toros in today's game. So Powell's ready to go. He gets his sign. He tried to pick off Avena over at first base, but unable to do so. It's a very nice move, but Avena was just a little bit quicker. Broncos in the outfield is going to be Jacob Bernardi in left, Kyle Garlick in center, Michael Zidek in right. So first pitch from Powell is going to be a curveball. It's a beautiful curveball dropped right in there for a strike. So 0-1 is the count here with 2 outs in the ball game. And Brady Conlon batting. On deck is Kevin Lennick. At first base, Juan Avena. Pitch from Powell comes in. He tried another curveball, does not get in time, does not get it to fall in. The 1-1 will be the count here. Conlon had just like Young, a very impressive batting average, 349. He's gotten 73 hits and 209 at bats. It looks like he leads the Toros in that category. So hats off to Brady Conlon. Sends a foul ball down the right field line. That's going to go out of play. So that's going to be the first strike of the at bat. So 2-1 is now the count. Oh, excuse me, 1-2 is the count. I was reading the scoreboard up there. The scoreboard unfortunately had a little bit of an error on it, but they corrected that. So 1-2 is the count, and 2 outs up on the board with 2 strikeouts from Chris Powell. Juan Avena at first base, Brady Conlon batting. Powell gets his sign from Kelly. He's set, he winds, he delivers, and Juan Avena's going, and that's going to be an easy throw out for Christian Kelly. Absolutely gunned it down to Nick Cooksey, so that was an easy out for Christian Kelly. So that will mark the 3rd out of the inning, and that will mean Brady Conlon will be up to bat next for the Toros. But first, the Broncos will get the top half of the 2nd inning to go. Greg Salva joining you back here at Klein Family Field on the campus of University of the Pacific. Broncos do have the bat, and they do have the lead in the ballgame, 1-0. The Broncos did score in the first inning. So Mike Philp will be the Broncos' first batter. He is also their first baseman. With Bryce Shea on the mound, first pitch comes in. That's going to be a called strike 1. Dropped right in there for Bryce Shea. Beautiful motion with his submarine, really, delivery. So Mike Philp batting for the Broncos. Ryan Weberly on deck. Second pitch comes in. Philp swings. He sends it down the first base line, but that's going to go foul. So Juan Avena will get it in foul territory. 0-2 is now the count here for number 32 on the Broncos. Mike Philp. Bryce Shade's ready to go. He winds, he delivers. That's going to be a foul ball for Mike Philp. Philp definitely does not want to go down here, so he's going to keep fighting. He had done a phenomenal job thus far this series. I believe he's batting .333 on the weekend. Yes, he is. He's batting .333, and he's actually leading batting average of the 14 first basemen that were in this tournament. That's going to be a nice hit for Mike Philp. Very nice job there. Now batting more than .333. And Mike Philp of the Broncos, he's now at first base. A nice single there to the right side, out to the right fielder. And in right field for the Toros, is Cameron Young. Okay, so the player of the year is in right field, but that's a knock for Mike Phillips. That'll bring up Ryan Weberly here in the ballgame. The Broncos do already have 4 hits, and it is just the top of the second inning. Ryan Weberly gets a bunt down. That's going to be a beautiful bunt, and he will make it safely at first. Shea accidentally overthrows it. Philp does try to head to third base, but he does get gunned out because the second baseman was paying attention, was able to get the ball and get it over to third base in time. So that will be the first out of the inning. Let's see how Weberly's shot there is, it was marked as a hit. So Ryan Weberly gets a bunt hit, a beautiful bunt hit by that standard. So that'll bring up Nick Bruno, the Broncos' third baseman here. Ryan Weberly at first base, 1 out in the game. Bryce Shea on the mound. Shea really could not have hoped for a much better situation than that. First pitch from Shea comes in strike 1. So as I mentioned, he could not really hope for much better because he tried to hold up the throw to first base, but he accidentally held it a little bit too long and then released it and it shot it out towards the second baseman. But he was paying attention, so he was able to get it to Mike Phillip at third. He was able to get Mike Phillip at third. So that'll go. Nick Bruno grounds out to the third baseman. So that'll be marked the second out of the inning. And Ryan Weberly does head to second base. So Broncos do have a runner in scoring position with Jacob Bernardi coming to bat. As always, fans, we do appreciate you tuning in and listening. It definitely does make this a much better broadcast when I'm talking to someone. So Jacob Bernardi, the batter for the Broncos, number 15. Pitch from Shea comes in. It's going to be strike. He's very accurate today, Shea is. He's got, I believe, most of his batters, if not all of them, have seen a strike in the first pitch. So Jacob Bernardi, the Broncos' left fielder, is the batter for Bryce Shea. Second pitch from Shea comes in. Bernardi likes it. He fouls it off right over the Broncos' dugout. Definitely got a few of them ducking. So 0-2 will be the count for Bryce Shea of the Toros. Shea is a sophomore out of Santa Clarita. He went to Golden Valley High School. Pitch from him comes in. That's going to be ball 1. So 1-2 now the count here for Jacob Bernardi. That was pretty close. Matienzo did hold it there for a little bit, hoping it would be called. But the home plate umpire says no. So 1-2 is the count with 2 outs here in the ball game. The pitch from Shea comes. Bernardi sends a single. That's going to fall in for a hit. Sends a single over to the right side. Jensen Torres holds up the runner at third base. The Broncos have been, very lucky there. Ryan Weberly was able to get back in time. And so Weberly will be at third base and Jacob Bernardi at second. He did get a single out of that and then advanced on the throw. So that'll be a single for Jacob Bernardi and mark the 6th hit of the ballgame for the Broncos. A very nice throw there by Cameron Young of the Toros. Was able to get it right into Matienzo, who was then turned around and threw it to third base, almost getting Ryan Weberly, but Weberly was called safe. So that will bring up the Broncos' leadoff hitter and catcher, Christian Kelly. In his last at bat, he did fly out to the center fielder. It was a nice shot, but it was just right at him pretty much. So Bryce Shea ready to go. 2 outs on the board. He delivers. First pitch is going to be a ball. A little bit high, a little outside. One to 0 the count here for Christian Kelly. Goes in just a little bit on the inside of the plate. Kelly turned in case it was going to hit him. It was pretty close, but did not. So 2-0 will be the count here for Bryce Shea. Going to have to work back a little bit because 2-0 is what's considered a hitter's count. Basically, the pitcher's got to throw something close if you want to get some strikes on that board. So Shea's ready to go. He winds. He delivers. That's going to be ball 3. That was a little bit high, a little outside there for Matienzo. He tried to frame it, but umpires at this level, they tend to not be too easily fooled. So 3-0 is the count with 2 outs on the board for Christian Kelly. Broncos have runners at second and third. Pitch from Shea comes in. That's going to be called strike 1. So 3-1 is now the count. Ryan Weberly at third base. Jacob Bernardi at second. Christian Kelly batting for the Broncos. Kyle Garlick on deck. Garlick did have a hit his first at bat. Kelly is, as I mentioned, 0 for 1, but definitely the Broncos' deadliest hitter in this game in terms of batting average, rather. So that'll be a ball for Christian Kelly. Ball 4. So Kelly will take his base. He's now been on base this game. So Kyle Garlick will head up to the plate. As I was mentioning, Christian Kelly prior to prior to his first at bat, was 353 in the game, in his season actually. through most of the season, if you have been following the Broncos, you'll know that Christian Kelly was in the top 2 in the conference in batting average. It was basically him and Cameron Young, the Toros right fielder, who were leading that category. At the end, Cameron Young did pull ahead. He had a fantastic final series of the year against the Cal State San Bernardino Coyotes, which boosted him and really